Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, welcome tonight, everyone, to our YOLO International call. Today, I just did a call with our Polish team, which is rocking and rolling. There are about 40 people that were on that call tonight. Today, whatever time it is. Lots of great things happening, but tonight's event is really, I asked a couple people whose children have been on. You guys can mute yourselves.
I did it last week.
It's not muted. Okay, if you're not muted, if you got Kate, okay, I muted you. Anyway, if you are not muted, if you guys wouldn't mind muting yourself, or I just muted you all. I asked a couple of ladies to join us whose children have been on Juice Plus for a very long time, and I asked them to share why this is an absolute must for them to be on Juice Plus. And I want to just go back to when I got started in this business. The very first thing that I thought about was, who did I know, love, and care about that I wanted better health for and better wealth for. And I wasn't looking for one specific kind of person, right? This weekend I attended a bank event, and there was a great guy there, and he was saying, how you really grow your business is when you look for 5 people that are totally different than you, right? Because if you're only looking for one kind of person, you could be missing some amazing people. I just want to acknowledge those of you that met Dwayne and Austin in Sacramento, and they work with senior homes, and now they've got all these senior directors that they're working with, and they've got big business ladies who have seen changes in their parents' health. And I think this past month they got 86 new clients, new customers. One lady went off her bipolar medicine. Another lady came running into the facility going, I finally pooped, right? And so when that happens at a senior center, everybody wants to know, well, what do I do for my health? And but we were talking, Dwayne and I were talking about looking for those people that aren't just like us. And but my big thing was, who did I know, love, and care about? I didn't look for anything else other than that. And probably the most profound one was Mickey. And Mickey had just gone through some life changes. She can share a little bit. It's I know it's kind of hard sometimes to bring it up, but she can share her story. But she was someone that has always been held a special place in my heart. And I knew her husband had passed away suddenly, and she can share a little bit about that, but they had their own business, and then she lost the health insurance. Am I right, Mickey, about that? Because before they had, it was her and her husband. Well, then it was just her in the business because he had passed away, and her daughter had spinal muscular atrophy, and she really needed the health insurance. So when I was thinking about Juice Plus, I thought about, wow, what if this could just help Mickey? I didn't know if it was the business, but I knew more than anything that it was something that I felt a necessity to share with her. But what really hit home was when Mickey had posted that her daughter, Aurora, had been to the hospital, I think, right? She had been to the hospital, I think she was going every other week. And I think you were saying that it was $1,000 every time you took her to the emergency room. And my heart was like, shame on me if I don't share this with my friend Mickey. And I know that her daughters have been on Juice Plus this whole time, and I thought maybe you could just share a little bit of your story. And I want to congratulate her. She got married. She met an amazing man, Darren, and they've been married a year, November 4th, right? November 4th, I know, is your anniversary. But why don't we just, if you wouldn't mind sharing with us and what a difference it's made. And how old are the girls now?
The girls are 15. So I was actually, Lauren called me before she even got home from the Juice Plus conference when she met Jeff, went with Jeff to the conference. And so she called me and she's like, I just need to tell you about this. And she ordered it right away for me. And my daughter's been on it ever since. And I don't know if she still has a couple great videos of them as little kids, like, 4 or 5 years old, and just how proud they were that they could swallow their Juice Plus, and they were, doing it all on their own. But then Aurora had some issues, and so she's been on Juice Plus since, well, how long have you been doing it now? So Yeah. So she's been on it for that long. And what's amazing is her health, like, I think she went 3 years without even going to the hospital, other than normal, normal stuff. But she went, I think it was 3 solid years without any hospital stays. And it was going from, just every few weeks to, that long of a break was just, it was mentally exhausting before that, but physically and emotionally, everything. Imagine your health when you go to the hospital on a regular basis. Her health was suffering, my health was suffering, and and our relationship with each other as well. All of us, it was really challenging to be raising twins and then having, everybody was sick, and it was a constant, that circle, that constant, just somebody would get better and then the next person would get sick and then the next person, it was just constant. So Lauren got us on the Juice Plus and we have not stopped. One of my daughters, Bella, won't take it for the last few years. She has an aversion to taking medications and pills and stuff, so she won't take it. And I can't fight her on it. It's just one of those things. But the funny thing is twins next to each other, sitting next to each other with dinner and everything, and the one gets sick and her twin sister, who has a compromised immune system, doesn't. And so that just speaks volumes.
I remember specifically once, Mickey, when we were in Palm Springs, and I'm like, Mickey, why did she go to the hospital? Why did she go to the hospital? She goes, Lauren, I remember you saying to me, do you realize she hasn't been to the hospital, how often you were taking her versus one time she had been? Maybe you could share about that as well. And just a little bit about spinal muscular atrophy and like what a huge thing that this really is for her to have some strong foundation, right?
Yeah. So spinal muscular atrophy is the #1 genetic killer of kids under the age of 2. And so she is 15 years old. So I just, I really credit Juice Plus for keeping her healthy. I had a friend for years that her son wouldn't eat vegetables, and so her pediatrician had him go on Juice Plus, and he never had sick visits. And so I knew about Juice Plus, but I wasn't, I thought it was something like for kids or whatever. So when Lauren told me about it, I was like, okay, I know this. I've seen this through my friend with her son, Nicholas. And so it was like, okay, I can do this for the girls. And of course I trust Lauren. So that was, that was a given as well. But it was like, okay, we're doing this. And so, to have that with SMA, it's, it is very high death rate with these kids, and their immune system is compromised. And, it's a muscular condition. So everything, you don't think about all of the things your muscles do. So, your muscles is breathing, your muscles is digestion, pooping, like Lauren said, if you don't get enough fiber, you don't poop. And so, if there's a lot going around, we double up. And the nurses know that. That's a given. It's like, if there's stuff going around, double up on the Juice Plus, and we double up on the elderberry as well. So we make our own elderberry syrup, and so we double up on that, and I have a formula that she has a G-tube. And so I have a formula that I use organic baby food and, but even organic baby food, I can't get that many fruits and vegetables in baby food. So I can get a really good organic baby food, and then the Juice Plus, and she gets her Juice Plus capsules in there, and it works out so well. And we make it every day. And so I know that she's getting great ingredients.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing. You're gorgeous. I hope you had a nice weekend. I saw you guys were out for a nice weekend. I'm super happy for you. And I couldn't be more thrilled. I'm glad that I took that little bit of courage to call you. I think sometimes we get a little nervous, like, oh my gosh, because I even knew that you had tried so many things. But just seeing you guys go to the emergency room off, as a single mom, at the time, for how many years did you raise those girls all by yourself? And right? And I saw that you were exhausted. I saw that you needed help. And I felt that it was really a responsibility to share it. And I think that when I think about, why we do what we do, that it's really not an opportunity. It really is a responsibility. And I just, I adore you. And I'm glad that, I'm glad that Facebook was up there so I could see how often, right? Because I know that you're a strong woman and we had tried to do it all alone. And finally I was like, that's it. Like, I'm calling her. Like, I love these girls and I want the best health for them. So thank you also as a mama for making sure that they take it, and I know you also really love the Tower Gardens. It's been a big thing.
Okay. 2 Tower Gardens.
Yeah. And you want to share a little bit about the towers real quick and why you love those?
The Tower Gardens, we're close to the Living Towers, and so I get to go out there and actually buy some of the, the vegetables already rooted, and so, or sprouted, and so I can supplement with things that are a little further along. And we love to go out there. It's such a small operation, but it's such a neat field trip. And so we go out there and we pick out what we want, and we look online and we kind of get an idea, but we go out and we pick the produce, and we bring it home and put it in the Tower Garden, and we're eating off of it all the time. And so it's just such a phenomenal thing. I tell people all the time, I'm like, you've got to get a Tower Garden because they're so amazing.
Well, thank you so much for sharing, Mickey, and give those girls a big hug, and you're an amazing man. I'm so happy that you met him and your wedding was beautiful last year. So thank you for inviting me there. I'm going to bring up Manon, and amazing mama raising. I just love seeing her. I love seeing Ali just grow. It's crazy. I think, before our eyes, like, she's been raised now in this Juice Plus environment. And could you share a little, so she's basically been on Juice Plus, I think, her whole life, correct? Maybe you could share a little bit about that.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. It's an honor to be here, and I really appreciate you all sharing your time with me and having me on. And I hope I can be of service. I first heard about Juice Plus from my dear friend Lauren, our dear friend Lauren, and she called me and said, "Hey, I think I have something for you." And she knew I was willing to help. I have a master's in medicine, and I worked in the ER and OBGYN forever, and I'm an athlete and a mom, of course. And I said, you know what? I'm really intrigued, but I'm busy this week. I'm giving birth. And so I was bed rested at the time, and I literally went into the hospital the next day to give birth to my daughter. But I kept the emails and stuff that she sent me, and I ended up getting on a phone call with Cheryl, our beautiful Cheryl Cortese. And that beautiful velvet hammer came right down on top of me, and I smiled the whole time. And basically, it just made sense to me instantly, fruits and vegetables. And so I started taking it right away. And as a mom, Darby, quiet. Sorry, our dog is a little loud right now. Shh, quiet. So anyway, I started taking, so Allie's had Juice Plus ever since she was born, because I was taking it and she got it through my breast milk. And Allie, I mean, when I weaned her off of my breastfeeding and, started giving her, formula and goat milk and everything, I actually opened the capsules, all 3 of them, and put them in there. And yeah, so she wouldn't actually drink goat milk or anything else without the Juice Plus capsules in it. She thought that tasted weird. So without it in it. But fast forward, she's 10 years old, and Allie has never missed a day of school for being sick. I want to repeat that. Okay. Allie has never missed a day of school for being sick. And she's 10 years old, and she's going into the 5th grade. And she started school when she's 18 months old. And that's pretty, that's amazing to me, because I hear moms all the time, oh, my daughter's sick or whatever. And it really astonishes me. So I've actually given her a couple of wellness days to miss school, and we'll just stay at home and have a mommy daughter day. So that was really nice. For me, what?
I was going to say, Karina had a question about someone share how to use the complete instead of formula. Maybe you can talk about that as well, because I know Dr. Sears does talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's complete is that it's actually complete food. It's not a supplement. and it's okay to give children. It's and I know Allie loved it when she was growing up, and I know Cheryl's grandson Oliver has been. That's all that he had as well. It's completely safe and okay, and I don't want to get too much into the soy thing, but it is safe, and I would love to send you an article on that or even a video on it. But it's really an incredible. It's complete. It is what its name says. It's a complete food, is what it is. And the proteins are easily digestible, and the fiber in there, and it's actually really fine to take. So, Carolina, I'm not sure if I'm answering your question directly, but I'm happy to, answer in any other way. Anything else that you? And for me, it's been a part of our life for so long. And Allie's so cute. She'll. I just was looking at some of the videos on Facebook that came up, and one of them was her talking about in her baby chair, or not her baby chair, don't tell her I said that, in her chair, in her booster in the car, saying, "Mommy, I just eat Juice Plus." And it's just a cute little song that she had, and I was like, oh my gosh, my little girl is growing into a big little girl. So it's been into my life, and it'll always be in our lives no matter what. It's really an incredible experience.
Awesome. Well, thank you. And I know you've shared it with a lot of people, and with your background and your knowledge, we appreciate you always, sharing all the medical things as well with us too. So thank you, Manon. And I know Asher's 12 years old. She's taken Juice Plus. She was 3 months old. And same thing. She's never been on any antibiotics. Obviously, we don't make any claims, but
No.
you know that we're building that strong foundation for our kids. As I think is so important. Most, you look when you go buy a house, the first thing you look at is the foundation. And that's really what we're doing. We're building a strong foundation for our kids' health. And lots of us are rebuilding that foundation for ourselves, right? We kind of, you want to say something?
I mean, the Juice Plus, the product is amazing, but also I love that my daughter's growing up with these kids. I mean, she asked me about Asher today, and it's our community of kids is growing up together too. And that to me, it almost makes me cry. I mean, I feel so blessed that our kids get to grow up together too. It really is a blessing to bring them to conference. And I just wanted to just say that it's generational.
That's a great thing though that you said too. I mean, look, that Joss was 11 years old when I started this business, and
really,
and now he's 23 years old. Met his fiance through this business. It's unbelievable. Right now, he can afford, because of this Juice Plus business, for himself to live in New York City. They're planning their wedding, and all of those great things that you just never think about when you're little. You don't think that one day your kid's going to be in the business with you and be sharing it with their friends. Or Quinn, he's like, Mom, my friend, I guess his friend has peanut allergies. He goes, he loves the Complete. Is it okay that, he takes the Complete, or there's no nuts and the whole thing? I'm like, yeah, but you're right, that, and seeing that environment, the kids get together and that one day they're going to be, hopefully being able to say yes to more. Well, I'm going to go ahead. Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and pass it on over to another woman, amazing friend of mine who was on my chicken list for a long time. And she could share with you, a big thing that drove me to say yes to this mission was I was an independent contractor, and I had health insurance, but it did not include eye or dental. And so I was waiting for our team to become NMD so I could get those dental benefits. And Suzanne and I were friends, and I had really deep pockets, I think 3s or 4s or something like that. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more. And I was kind of nervous about going to Suzanne, because I was like, oh my gosh, I've got these deep pockets. But the one thing that did happen with me after taking Juice Plus was that my gums stopped bleeding. And I thought, well, maybe my pockets will be better now, but I needed 2 fillings. And I thought that I put together a gift basket. Suzanne said, oh, well, we'll do those fillings for you, because I wanted the porcelain fillings. And I think they were expensive without health insurance, without dental insurance. And she goes, oh, I'll do it for you. So I'm like, oh, I better get her. And I remember exactly this cute little place I went to in Danville, and got this, pretty gift basket of goodies. But then I threw in some Chewies and some Juice Plus, not for any other reason other than I just wanted to thank her. And so maybe you could share a little bit about your story and what this has done for you and your kids.
Yeah, I would love to share. Thank you so much. And this is an amazing opportunity. I always, I love sharing my story, and it never gets old. Like Lauren said, I was friends with Lauren, and I saw that she had a need, and that, she would, the couple times that I saw her before this story started, she would like go, "Can you look at my gums? Can you tell, like, how do my gums look?" And it was so cute because I'm like, just come over. Like, you're so worried about it. Just fly over. I'll take care of you, stay at my house. And so that's what we did. And little did I know that it would be life-changing for me because, I hid from the world what was actually truly going on. I am a mother, a very proud mother of 3 daughters. At the time, my eldest daughter was 12 years old. And what she didn't know, and most of the world didn't know, is that we had been battling a 6-year autoimmune disorder. And this autoimmune disorder is a 3 in a million autoimmune disorder. It's called JDMS, or juvenile dermatomyositis. The dermato part is the skin, and the myositis is the muscle. So inflammation. It basically meant that she was falling down, face first. Her reflexes would go out. And like Vicki mentioned, like when muscle has inflammation, when there's something affecting your muscles, it affects all your muscles. So when we first got diagnosed, it was because she couldn't swallow. And when a child, or anybody for that matter, can't swallow, they take you right in. Like, so initially it was a 4-month wait. They got us right in. So what Lauren and most people didn't know was that we were in and out of hospitals every week and every other week. Poor girl had, my poor baby was on IVs, at 6 years old, all the way till 12 years old. And I kept thinking as a mom, because I didn't mention, yes, I'm a practicing dentist, but like first and foremost, anybody that's a parent or has a parent would know that like you would do anything for your children. And so I would leave the office, I would go to the hospital. So I was basically running the triad between my home, the hospital, and my office. And and during that time I became a single parent. So I can definitely relate to Mickey that spoke earlier. And the biggest thing is that I kept holding out hope. I kept, every time the doctors or nurses would say, "Oh, here's something new we can try. Here's a new drug. Here's a new oral med, new IV. Let's try this." I had hope. I thought, okay, this is the corner we're turning that's going to actually make the difference. Well, little did I know that when Lauren introduced me to Juice Plus, I initially, it made a lot of sense to me, but I was looking at it purely from this is a nutrition that makes sense to me. And I know that we're not getting fruits and veggies in our diet like we should be with the lifestyle we're leading. And so it just made a whole lot of sense on that level. I had no idea the impact that it would make. And basically what happened was, when Lauren came to see me as a patient and we took care of her, within a month, my team gobbled up the gummies right away. So I got started on Juice Plus because it made sense. Within a month of that visit, Sarah was really, really sick. She actually took a downturn, and we hadn't actually started Juice Plus because we were just taking what she gave us, and I hadn't placed my order yet. So around Christmas time, I placed an order. We got started right away, and I started giving her the regular 2 of each. Well, then, as luck would have it, Lauren was actually in Reno for a boot camp, and she had a lot of leaders there with her. And so she's like, "Well, why don't you come visit?" And so I went to visit, and and it was amazing because I got to meet a lot of the leaders. But what was amazing at that visit was that Dr. Mitra Ray was there, and Jeff, and these people, leaders in our company. And I was telling how Sarah was feeling better. She was actually out of pain. She was, the first time ever, she was feeling a lot better in terms of pain level, was dramatically less. And I was told by so many people there, all kinds of people were sharing, "Hey, if she's feeling better, have her take more." So that's what I did. And then 4 months after that, she was actually able to go on her very first field trip ever in her whole life because she was physically able to step onto the bus. At the time that this story started, what I failed to mention was that she was actually in and out of wheelchairs, and I was carrying her up the stairs. And so that's how serious it was. And the dramatic change that it took was astronomical. And as a dentist, I can tell you that, I was definitely impressed with the research studies. When I started really looking into it, I was super impressed with the research. Not only did, at the time, I think we had over 15 research studies, Now we have almost double that. And there's a periodontal research study. But all of that science is definitely, it's definitely something that gets you interested or gets you to say yes to something. But let me tell you, when you start hearing stories, like mine is one of many, you know, Sarah, within 2 years of this story happening, she actually was not taking any medicine whatsoever anymore. She was actually able to go to school, lead a healthy life, do well checks, start college. And as we're speaking right now, she's actually studying for the MCAT, which is the medical entrance exam, medical school entrance exam that she's going to take on Saturday, because she graduated college and she's leading a healthy life. And let me tell you that, you know, I'm not here to make any claims about anything, because, you know, yes, I'm a dentist, but I'm also a mama that just wanted the best for my child. But let me tell you, there's not a day that's gone by that any of us have missed taking our Juice Plus. Many moments in the beginning, I had to stand at the door with the capsules in my hand, and I would not let the girls leave the house, because I have 3 kids. Okay. So I would not let any of them leave the house without taking their capsules. But then very quickly, they started to really recognize that, for instance, when they become teenagers and they start getting blemishes on their face, they start to recognize that, oh my gosh, this is actually helping me. So I'm going to take it for that reason. Whatever the reason is, I enjoy the process. I enjoy seeing health and wellness in such a simple form, meaning it's foundational. It's fruits and veggies. Like, how much more simple can you get? It's not supplement. And the latest thing is, you know, we also have Tower Gardens, and my kale is going like crazy, and my zucchini and everything. And Sarah just yesterday made dinner for the family, and she was literally, I was on the phone with a team member, and she's coming out there, like picking the thyme, picking the kale, you know, to be able to make dinner. And she's like smiling at me, kind of showing off while she's doing it. So it's just, it's really something that like every single person in your family can wrap their head around, even if they're skeptical, like I was in the beginning. The story tells itself, and it's so powerful that, you know, when you go through something, you know, my story is obviously an exception. It's very different. But what I attribute it to is she had a very acidic body. You know, whether her body was acidic when she got the disease or whether it was acidic when they pumped her full of all the drugs, God only knows. But what I do know as a mom is that she was very acidic. And so therefore, any of the drugs that she was taking weren't working because she was so acidic. And so we needed something to be able to balance out, to alkalize her system. And there's no amount of salads, no amount of juice and smoothies and, you know, all those things by themselves wouldn't have worked. We needed to flood her body with antioxidants, and this was the best way to do it. So I'm super, you know, proud to be part of this community. I'm super proud to be able to share my story. And I, like I said, if it helps even one person who hears this every single time, you know, then I've done my duty. So
Awesome. Well, thank you. I know you just got back from Finland, where you saw your family. I guess and how was that?
Oh my gosh, I haven't been back. So my mother is born and raised in Finland, and I have not been back since I did research there after dental school for 5 months, and I haven't been back for 27 years. Shocking. Life happens, you know. And so so we had an opportunity to go, and I was like so impressed with, first of all, I was just impressed with their lifestyle. Their lifestyle over there is very simplistic. It's all about Mediterranean diet, whole food nutrition. You know, they don't have aisles and aisles of cereal. You know, they have like, here's your cereal. Here's like 1 choice, 2 choices, 3 choices, maybe. You know, they're very, very streamlined, and they're not like snackers. You know, they're very much, they eat a meal, they sit down and they eat a meal with one another, and they have conversations. So I really was so inspired by the lifestyle and just the visits and having those moments. Like every single day we went to sauna. We went from sauna to the lake, and it's a tradition there to go to sauna, and the women go together and the men go together, and you share usually some kind of fruits, veggies, and, you know, fish and that kind of thing. So it was just such an eye opener, and it was a really good reminder to really, you know, keep it simple when it comes to your lifestyle and your nutrition. And if life seems to be getting stressful or whatever, just seriously like get back to basics and really focus on, you know, what you need and what that means, and whether it's rest, relaxation, meditation, stretching, whatever it is, just remind yourself. So that was a number one takeaway for me.
Awesome. Well, now you guys, I think, really get why I am even beyond passionate about Juice Plus. I mean, for me, not just the product, but obviously the business as well, this amazing mission. But what if, let's just go back to what if. What if I hadn't have gone up there and seen Suzanne? What if I hadn't had called those guys? I mean, I'm not saying that I'm all healer, whatever, but I think that that's what we need to really look at this as, not an opportunity, but really a responsibility to share our product and to share our mission with everybody. And no, the Tower Gardens are not available yet in Australia, but there's lots of people here in the US that need the Tower Gardens as well. Are there any final questions? I want to be respectful of everybody's time. We have the San Diego Summit that's taking place this weekend, and Danielle will be speaking as part of that summit. And then there's the Rhode Island Summit that's taking place in August that Amanda as well as Danielle are both speaking at. But does anybody have any questions for the ladies before we end this call? You guys can see my office is being emptied because we're moving on over to our new space here in Las Vegas. Anybody have any questions for the ladies before we jump off? Anyone? Pretty powerful, huh? I don't know about you guys, but I would just have you, have you go through, and people will tell you what's going on in their lives. You just need to get curious, or you just need to have those couple minutes, those couple seconds of courage to say, I don't know, but it couldn't hurt anything, right? And just share this with them. Does anybody have any questions that they want to ask anybody, or shall we just end tonight's event? That's it? All right. Well, thank you all for joining us this evening. We have lots of great things happening. And remember, we have our calls tomorrow. Make sure to check. I really want to thank everyone that has joined us this evening, and we'll be putting this on our YouTube channel so that you can share this with others. So thanks so much. Bye.